My name is Ronell R. Bassham. Basically, I put 22 years in the United States Air Force, starting in 1953 until 1975. It was a very bittersweet experience. During my 23 years in the Air Force, I learned that I was a small fish in a big pond versus what I thought before I went in. But it has a way of teaching you humility and making you want to grow. Well, I've seen a little bit of combat in Vietnam primarily. I had a chance to go there a couple of times, TDY and one PCS. And while I was in Vietnam, people liked me so much they were shooting at me, so they didn't want me to leave. So I figured I better leave before they shot me, so I left before they shot me. Well, basically, I am involved in the veteran community because I realized that after a while there was something wrong with me. It took me a while to admit that it was really me and not the people around me with PTSD. So then I started getting interested in how to figure out ways to help other people that have PTSD like I did, because there was no respect for us when we came back from Vietnam. Our enemy respected us better than our neighbors did. So that's one reason why you have a lot of people going back to where they came from, because they can't handle the disrespect they get here in the country, including myself. I was very angry, frustrated with myself for what I'd done, what I couldn't undo, what I'd seen done and couldn't stop, All that stuff lives with you. That's in your bag. You can't get rid of it. So you have to learn how to handle it, or it's going to handle you. When I'm treating them, I am actually treating myself at different stages of progress. Because when I see someone up in front of a judge, I say, hey, that could just easily be me still, but maybe if someone helps this person, they won't be in front of the judge that long, because incarceration is a failure. It does not work for PTSD. All it does is make you harder and more angry than what you were before you got involved. Well, the Veterans Treatment Court is a regular court, except it's a big expression of empathy, understanding, and respect for who you are, what you've done, where you're coming from, and where you would like to be, and how you'd like to get on with your life, and how to get your family back together again. That's what the Veterans Court is all about. And not only that, when you're talking to another vet, if you use a certain term, he knows what you're talking about. I also work in the Lockport Court and also in the Niagara Falls Court as well. Because like I say, we just can never get enough veteran mentors to help guys who are in trouble. And every time I see a veteran in trouble, I'm like the Lone Ranger, I get on my white horse and ride to save them. Well, the first thing I would recommend to them is primarily try and get a hold of a veterans group to get involved with, so they can steer them to the Veterans Court. You will not basically find a civilian that knows these things like you would if someone belonged to the Vietnam veterans or something like that there, because they work immediately with the Veterans Court. So they know what you're trying to get accomplished, and like I said once before, they know what you're talking about. They're not trying to guess what you're talking about. So I would steer them to either my own group or one of the other groups as well, because as you know, I have a group in Batavia as well, which is the PTSD residential program, one of the first ones in the country. So that's what I would do. PTSD is too big for anyone to resolve alone. You must have help. Only an idiot would continue to try and do it by themselves and self-medicate. Trust me, I used to do almost 16 ounces of booze every day because I couldn't do any better and I didn't know any better. But once I found out better, hey, I started getting high on life instead of on alcohol. What I would like to say to every other veteran that is out there right now, if you know another veteran that you're not sure about what he's up to, what he's into, take time to have a cup of coffee with him and find out where his head is at. because it might not be in a good place and you might be able to save a life. That's all I just say. I think it's very important that you stay connected to the veteran community, because once you were a civilian, you'll never be a civilian again. You're always going to be a veteran now, so enjoy the perks. I always feel good when someone says, thank you for your service. And I always said, support late is better than no support at all. I've been out of Vietnam now for over 20 years, and people still come up and say, thank you for your service. And I always say, I thank you for your support, and I'm still glad alive to be appreciated. You must always be able to laugh at yourself, because if you can't laugh at yourself, you're going to really suffer. You're going to make things worse than what they are, and they'll always realize that you are not perfect. You won't ever be perfect, so make the hell of the best you got.